Now that we have installed SQL Server 2008 and SSMS, we'll start the installation of MDE and then proceed to the data entry with MDE. Now, you see the primary requirements for MDE to be installed in your machine is you should have SQL Server, that we have already done. Then there is one other catch, that is the date format. The date format should be DDMMYYY. You can see how I'm looking, what date format the system has is. You can change calendar settings. See it as DDMMYYY. Generally what happens is, if you have to change the date format, you have to come here. You'll have to give this one MMDDYYY or any other date format. Anyhow it is. Okay. So this is how it is. And we'll cancel this because this has DDMMYYY. Now then we have to create a folder MDEDB in the D drive. After it is created, you can run this MDE 1.3 zip. Okay, this particular MSI, now this is the latest version of MDE. If you have some other MDE like MDE 1.0 or MDE 1.3, then you have to upgrade DB. In this particular MSI, we will upgrade DB. I'll show you how the DB is upgraded and how this is installed. Just double click on it. Okay. Accept. Next. This is the folder which will be automatically created and installed. Give yes. So MDE is installed. Now once you install it, you will get an MDE manual data entry module in this start window. Now we'll do the DB creation. DB creation is very simple. Go to independent MDE DB creation under manual data entry, database operations, and you have to click on create DB. Create DB for SQL 2008 is what we will do because we have installed the 2008 R2. Now create DB. Login. You have to get the server name. Come to the desktop. Open SQL Server Management Studio. Once just connect, right click, properties, and you'll find the server name here. Copy the server name and you can paste it here. This is the password we gave during the installation of SQL Server 2008. Save it. The details are saved. You have to initialize DB. Initialize the DB in D drive. This will help you not lose data if there is any crash or something. So create, confirm. Wait till the DBs are created and it is shown. Now MDE creation came and creation of MDE sign came, so everything is done. Now what we'll do is I'll just go and check if the DBs are created in the server. Okay, we have MDE and MDE sign. Once you check this, also check the tables. So tables are also there. Don't start entering data without verifying the tables. This is also there. So the next step is to upgrade DB. Now this is because there are some changes that have been done on the table level. So what we'll do is we'll upgrade the table. Independent MDE 1.3 upgrade DB. Okay, so upgrade it. Don't worry, even if you have some data in the previous version, that is 1.2, it will still be there, just an update. We are just doing an upgrade. Now this is the server name, upgrade db. Changes are successfully done. Now once changes are done, you can exit this window, you can close this, and we can start working on MDE. Now this version of MDE is initialization free, so you'll not be able to, like, you'll not have to initialize any certificates or account numbers or anything. All you have to do is go to manual data entry, come to MDE admin, click on it. The username and password is admin. Login. You'll come here. This is where we create users, persons, PO, and then initialization configuration is newly added. This is where you will say if you want to initialize or not. Okay. Now let's see this first. See, this is giving you a complete information of what is going to happen if you set an yes or no. Do you want to remove initialization information levels? Give yes and save it. That's all. Please rerun the application. Okay. Close. MDE admin user creation. This is the normal screen wherein you will create a super user and a counter user. Now the super user and counter user, they are not much of there is no much of difference now, because you have removed that initialization and super and counter differentiation. So what we do is we'll give one super user password, give some easy password, and then user class is data entry. I'll click yes. Okay. Next I'll create a counter user. Now we'll see what are the users present. There is counter user, there is super user. If you want to delete a user, you can give delete and it will be deleted. Okay, now that we have deleted a super user, we'll create another super user, super and user class is the super create. Okay, so now users are created. Reset change password is familiar to you. Now we'll create person. Person creation is very simple. Create, done. Next person, create, done. Now what we'll do is we'll map the user and the person. This is actually to give the rights, but then now that we have removed rights, you can map them. Okay, so now person mapping is done, and reset change password, delete person, everything is the same. We'll do create PO. Now you can add it, add the PO you want. PO address, give it carefully. Pin code, very important. HO name, again very important. Then category, at post office or sub post office, as you are, like it depends on which post office you're sitting. And you have to give save. This data will get saved. You can exit. You can come here, set a default PO, set new default PO. It's Ananagar, head office. Sub office, save, updated successfully. So this is done. This will help you in lot of ways, like when you are entering the data, it will default the address of the person in order to avoid a lot of complications to you. So we have completed manual user person operation, PO operations, and initialization configuration. So the good part is we don't have any initialization. We can happily enter data and we can check it. Exit, come here. Now we'll start with the data entry. There are 3 modules in data entry, that is certificates, NSS 87 and SB discontinued. Let's start with NSS 87. Username is counter or super, as you want, because there is no differentiation of rights. Password, it's the person name, which person is working. Okay, now see, initialization is disabled because you don't have to initialize. Scanning, delete account number, account closure, everything is enabled. Okay, this is also enabled, so you can do this operation also. Let's enter data, open account. Let the account number be 100, single. This open data as a validation. It will throw an error if you give a wrong date range, that is it should be from 1/4/1987 to 30 September 1992. If this is not there, then you will get an error. So 90, and then name of the customer, let's take my name. Address is NC, city, and everything is getting populated automatically. Other ID, if it is there, you can enter the other ID, or you can just leave it, because that is not gonna at that time there was no other ID. So if it is there, write it, otherwise you can leave it. Minor date of birth, we have to give a minor date of birth. It will be 01/01/1989, and date of maturity is automatically calculated. Guardian name is guardian, whoever is the guardian for that particular account holder, his name will be put here. Relationship accordingly, and tab it. Now this is very important. You have to tab out from balance as on March 31st 2010 column, otherwise your data will not get saved. So you can save this without nominee. Done. Next we'll enter another 101. Joint account 01/01/90. Name is Balaji. Address is as in your paper. City is there. Done. You've already seen minor. So let's see account holder, joint account holder's name it is automatically getting populated. If you want to edit it, otherwise you can just leave it. Okay, next 1000 tab out, 1000 tab out, save with nominee. Account open date is 1990. Save. Nominee number is 100. Name is nominee. Address is populated automatically. If now you give a date 01/01/1991, minor DOB greater than open date, error will come because you cannot have that. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll give a date of 1980. Okay, so now the minor is just 10 year, the nominee is just 10-year-old, so it is accepting. And then we'll get the shared percentage, and we have to enter the guardian's detail as usual. So wherever there is a minor, the guardian detail is must. If it is not there, question the post office and get it. So now that there is only one nominee, you can have it, save it. That's all. So it is saved. And what you can do is, so this is the details that has been saved now. So we are entering the data for a joint account. We have entered it. So 100 and 101 are the two accounts that we entered, and we'll now proceed to the transactions. Okay. Now transactions, you can exit. You can enter the transaction for any number, like 100. You can tab it. It will give an our deposit entry. Do not edit this deposit entry. All you have to do is go to add and add as many transactions are there from 2010 March. Okay, even if it is on April 2010, you have to add it completely till whatever date you have data for. Now we'll add a interest. Interest should always be in what you call on the 1st April of that particular year. You will get an error. Translate for interest should be April 1st for given year. So you'll have to just go change the date if you're doing it wrong. Next, deposit, interest, withdrawal, deposit. There is only one deposit allowed, so you cannot do any deposit. So it's interest of 2010, 150 rupees. The balance is automatically calculated. You can give interest. Next one, you can add, give some withdrawal from some date, withdrawal, so balance is automatically calculated. You can give withdrawal, and then you have to add 04 Okay, so this is throwing an error that only one withdrawal per year. So you have to know that you have done already a withdrawal and you cannot do another withdrawal for that customer for that particular year. So you can delete this particular last row, give save, the data will get saved. So we'll now add another record, 01.
I tried so hard.